Hello everybody, so I'm back again with yet another video, this time all about poetry. Since I've been writing an inordinate amount of poetry today, I've written probably about 8 or 9 poems, some which I've just published on my social media, some which were for poetry submissions to magazines and journals. So what I'm really trying to do at the moment is I'm really trying to get some poems together every single day to submit to literary journals and magazines and things to try and get some poetry published. I'm going to try and do at least one submission every single day and yeah, hopefully get some poetry published during the course of my endeavours. But I've written a huge number of poems over the years, mostly published to social media. I must have written in excess of 1,000 poems at least to this point, and they're mostly not very good. Some of them I'm very proud of. Some of them I think are actually very worthy contributions to poetry, and they do deserve to be published, but they haven't yet been published, unfortunately. And well, I've got some poetry published in The Black Veil on Medium, which was this horrible poem called The Screwdriver that I wrote. But yeah, that's the only time I've ever had poetry published. I really want to get into some literary magazines and journals and try and get a collection of poetry together. But yeah, I thought I'd read you a little poem that I've written just now. This is called A Woodland Glade, and it goes like this. Sitting in the quiet shade of the pools and rivers of a woodland glade, I turned in the sun to hear a shout, wondering what the din was all about. Then birds rushed from an opening in the trees, sidling and swooping into the breeze. Fathomless and hard hoping, I went about in a chill or moping, until I took up myself and wandered far, saw the glimpse of an early star, and found it out in empty space, calculating the motions of the human race. And sunshine swelled there just for me, and birdsong rang in a symphony. So that's like a rhymed poem. That's just one of the ones which I've kicked out onto social media today, just for, well, I don't know, whatever reason I do that for, just to give other people some joy and happiness in life, maybe if it could possibly provide that sort of thing for them, to give them something nice to read. Maybe, I don't know. Why do people write poetry? What is the modus operandi of the poet? Is it to get laid? Is it to make lots of money and have a successful, happy life? I don't think much money is ever made with poetry, and I think these days the ways that you get laid don't interlace quite with writing poetry and things like that. I don't think girls care particularly about poets, or people who write poetry. But yeah, it's a fascinating pursuit. It's a wonderful endeavor. It's something I love doing with my time. It's tricky always. It can go well, it can go terribly. I have sometimes grand visions for poems which don't come out right on the page. But yeah, very often I think uh, it's a worthwhile pursuit, I think, very often. And a lot of times my poetry has received good reactions from people, even though I still can't seem to get fucking published. But I know with publishing it's just a numbers game, really, isn't it? It's just a matter of sending it off to as many different publications as humanly possible. And if you send out 100 submissions, I think you'll probably be likely to get a few acceptances in return. If you send out to no publications, which is a bad habit I think I've had for too long, just sitting on my own work or just jumping the gun and publishing it to social media, because magazines, they don't like to publish poetry that's already been published, even if it's on social media. So I think that's a large part of the reason why I haven't been published yet, simply because I haven't been trying hard enough to get published. But there we go. Hopefully that'll all change in the future, and I'll become a successful poet at some point in my life. We live in hope, right? I guess that's what we can do. So thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed my poem for today, and I'll see you all soon.